Hi, this is Marty from Blue Lightning TV. I'm going to show you how to quickly place a tattoo onto someone, wrap it around the contours of the skin, and even change its color. You can apply these to text as well. If you'd like to use this font, I provided its link in the video description or project files. Before we begin, you should have two documents ready. One is the photo you'd like to use for your subject, and the other is a black and white design for the tattoo. If you'd like to use this design, I provided its link as well. If the tattoo wraps around any part of your subject, such as the arm in this example, you need to make a selection of the arm to ensure that the tattoo will be confined to that area. There are many ways to make selections, and I cover them in many of my tutorials. Once you make your selection, to see it as a quick mask, press Q on your keyboard. Since I'll be placing the tattoo on the upper arm, I made sure the selection surrounds that entire area. Go to Select and Save Selection. When this window pops up, just click OK. To delete the selection, press Ctrl-D on a PC or Command-D on a Mac. Make a copy of the layer by pressing Ctrl or Command-J. We'll use this copy to make a displacement map. The displacement map will wrap the tattoo around the contours of your subject based on your subject's shadows, midtones, and highlights. Since displacement maps work best when they're slightly blurred, go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. I'll blur this image 3 pixels. Go to File and Save As. Save it to your desktop. Name it Displacement as a PSD file. Then click Save. If you see this window, click OK. Now we can trash the blurred layer since we don't need it anymore. Open your tattoo design. We need to make a selection of its shape so we can cut it out from its background. One of the quickest ways to separate black and white is to use your magic wand tool. Make the tolerance 5 pixels, make sure anti-alias is checked, and contiguous is unchecked. Click anywhere on the tattoo. This created a selection of everything that's black. To cut the design out from its background and copy it to its own layer, press Ctrl or Command-J. To get it onto your subject, open your Move tool by pressing V on your keyboard. Then drag it up onto the tab of your subject. Without releasing your mouse or pen, drag it down onto the image and then release. To resize and position it, open your Transform tool by pressing Ctrl or Command-T. Go to a corner, and when you see a curved double arrow, rotate it to an angle you like. To reposition it, click inside and move it. Continue until you're happy with its angle, size, and position. Then press Enter or Return. The tattoo will blend in better with the skin if it's slightly blurred, so go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. We'll blur it 1 pixel, then click OK. Next, we'll use the displacement map to conform the shape of the tattoo to the contours of the arm. Go to Filter, Distort, and Displace. We'll displace the horizontal and vertical scales by 10, choose Stretch to Fit, and repeat edge pixels. Click OK, and click the Displacement PSD file. Then click Open. As I toggle back and forth, you can see that the shape adjusted itself based on the tonal values of the arm. Next, we'll hide the parts of the tattoo that extend beyond the outside of the arm. Control-click or Command-click on the thumbnail of the tattoo to make a selection of its shape. Open the Channels panel, go to Alpha 1, and press Ctrl-Shift-Alt on a PC or Command-Shift-Option on a Mac as you click on it. This deletes the selection outside the arm. Open back up the Layers panel and click on the layer mask icon to make a layer mask of the selection next to the tattoo. Next, we'll blend the tattoo onto the skin. First, change the blend mode to soft light and make a composite snapshot of your image by pressing Ctrl-Shift-Alt-E on a PC or Command-Shift-Option-E on a Mac. Make a copy of it. Go to the layer mask and press and hold Alt on a PC or Option on a Mac as you drag a copy of it next to the top layer. Click on the thumbnail to make it active and click on the adjustment layer icon. Choose Hue Saturation and click the Clip to Layer icon. This clips or restricts the adjustment layer to effect just the one layer beneath it. I'll reduce the saturation to -30. Keep in mind, since every photo is different, you may want to adjust the numbers we'll be using in the adjustment layers. For this photo, I'll change the lightness to -40. Many of the tattoo tutorials that I've seen up to this point use multiply for the blend mode, but I find that this blend mode dulls the tones and nuances of the skin under the tattoo. As I toggle back and forth, you can see the difference. If you want to change the color of the tattoo, experiment with the sliders to get just the color you want. Using these simple techniques, have fun creating realistic tattoos. This is Marty from Blue Lightning TV. Thanks for watching.